Now I'm here with Professor Bill Henderson from Indiana University at the Law School of Indiana University. Yes. He was one of the participants on our Future of the Law Firm Industry seminar that we just had here in New York. Now, one thing that you talked about is maybe that there was a lack of discussion of the sky parting, what the big answer might be. I mean, where might these answers come from? Where does the future of the legal industry going to be shaped?
I think that the temptation would be to think about looking to who's been successful in the recent past to who's going to be successful in the future. And I think that if we're looking for new models, the current winners are experts at the old model, and I think that we don't know who's going to be possessing the new innovative model that's going to really take a good portion of corporate legal spend. And I really think that insofar as getting away from the billable hour is concerned, there's going to be firms that are premised on alternative billing. They're going to become expert at it, and I think that those firms are going to basically kind of come out of nowhere and kind of begin to take a good portion of the legal spend away from what was currently the big elite law firms. And I think 10 years from now, it's going to look obvious. I think that's what would be my prediction of it. And I think that we're asking the wrong people to a certain extent. We're asking the people who have a vested interest in the existing model, what the next big thing is going to be. And they'll say, well.
Now, what are your students saying? I mean, when they're about to go out into this new world that they hear about layoffs, deferrals, stipends, and all these things that they have never heard before in this industry, what are they saying?
I think that to a certain extent there's an element of shell shock, and I think that also they're commiserating with each other, and so that there's a kind of a fellowship that develops amongst, we're all in this together. But on a more serious note, the stress is running actually fairly high, and it causes some soul searching within the law firm, law school itself, to think about maybe doing things differently, and maybe thinking about career paths in a more innovative way, and frankly thinking about the curriculum. And maybe they would have more opportunities if we began to think about the curriculum, broaden it and sharpen it in new ways.
Now, one thing, when you were commenting on something about we need to do skills like teamwork, working with each other, and project planning and things like that. I mean, as I talk to law students from time to time, it's cutthroat. There's one person that's top of the class, and they're fighting with the second in the class. Is that culture of law school also part of the issue?
Well, I think that the culture of law school is created by the incentive structure. At Indiana, when we did our 1L legal professions class, we decided that a portion, the teamwork portion of it, was going to go to a thing called criterions reference grading. In other words, you can get an A, the entire team can get an A, but you have to do A quality work. And so the burden on the law school faculty, is to get feedback to get somebody up to the level where they can get that A quality work. And we found that actually produced a fairly collegial group of law students. And so I think that that part of the solution is how we assess students and giving them a roadmap to develop these competencies that's cooperative rather than kind of a bell curve, a traditional bell curve. And so I think it's possible that we can change or mitigate the cutthroat aspect of law school, although I do think that the curve on some classes brings out the best in people in terms of their work ethic.
Now, some of these softer skills that not our traditional law school curriculum, I mean, do you see companies like my own, LexisNexis, as being able to help train with those kind of skills to help with the transition?
Yeah, we'll partner with you. Well, we consider it. We consider it. I've heard when people say, I want to make clear that it wasn't my idea to emphasize emotional intelligence. It wasn't my idea to emphasize project management or teamwork. I've heard this from legal employers, and they say the law schools need to do X, Y, and Z. And my response to them is, if we build it, will you come? There has to be an institutional payoff. And I think one of the difficulties, or one of the issues we're facing right now in legal education, is figuring out a way in which making that investment and having it pay for itself, kind of getting the glory or the revenues or the competitive advantage from making these, doing things differently, innovating. And so I think that we've got at least a plan to where we're willing to go down this road. So.
Well, we appreciate you leading the way and really waving the flag for this
thanks
stuff.
A lot.
Thank you so much for participating
today. Thanks you very much, Daryl.
Good travels home.
Thanks.